Oh, Tom. Did you want me to do this? These are Tam's limestone. 239. Opposed to the 112.34. All right, so we're live. Thank you. Good afternoon. This is the House Appropriations Committee. It's Monday, March 24th, 2025, and we're back with some spreadsheets. Bless you. So the plan for the afternoon is going to be that Emily will go over the updated spreadsheets with the divisions that we talked about before we vote. And then we'll go offline and we'll be getting the language like all in one place. And then you will be getting the web report all in one place. Those are being finalized and printed now. And so we won't go back live to hand them out. We'll just have them here. And if you're not around, I'll text you, but it should be in the next few minutes, but we don't need to stay live to all stare at each other while the printer. The one question, Emily, is that there were a couple of changes to the Joint Fiscal Committee language. And we haven't talked about that as a committee.
Correct. We can either see if Bryn is available to come talk about them. We could jump back online and have her talk about them. You could look at them and then we could talk about them before you sign off on the bill.
You probably ought to know what it is. So I don't know if Bryn is available to come. And if she can come now, that's great. Even though we don't have it, we've seen it. We just haven't seen the changes. In the meantime, Emily, let's go over the spreadsheets that you hinted at.
Okay, so for the record, Emily Byrne from the Joint Fiscal Office. I'm going to share this. The first one we'll go through is the one with the purple on the top, the base, where we started before. So I highlighted and bolded this changes that have been added since we talked at 1 o'clock. So the first one on line 8.1 is the additional $650,000 to buy back vacancy savings for the state's attorneys. Line 15.1 is the emergency food. There might be a better title for that, but emergency food at the Department of Public Safety Emergency Management for $500,000. Line 31, B314 in the Department of Mental Health. This bought back the reduction the reduction the administration made was $269,211. This buys back $249,211, which is a $20,000 difference from what was then buying it back completely. So it buys back most of it. On the next page, this is a formula driven thing. It's all other changes line changes by $20,000 because of the way
16,000
at 160,000.
Okay.
But that's related to some of the formulas up above. But anyway,
Yeah.
that one you're gonna have to believe now. Anyway, so the bottom line available to one time is now at $47.62 million.
Okay.
Yeah, 47.62 million. So then if we jump over to the one-time spreadsheet.
Green and orangey one.
Yes, the watermelon spreadsheet.
It's good.
So at the top and highlighted, that's the 47.62 million for one times. And then on row 9 is the mobile portable radio equipment. This reduces that one-time appropriation by $120,000 to $800,000. Line 33, the Vermont Professionals of Color Network. This is reduced by $50,000. Then on line 44 for VSAC, the free community grants, this is reduced by $1 million to $1.5 million, bringing the remaining balance to the same amount of $1.53 million.
And you changed the name of the fund.
Yes, I highlighted that. Yes, we changed the name of the fund.
that good, Trevor?
Yes.
Fun, okay.
Great. I will point, so, yeah, so from here, Amy will be here shortly with the web report for you to look at. You should see sort of all of these changes should show up in the notes of the web report and in the house changes column. That's where you'll sort of look for these things. And then Grady will have the language. And some of these change, the number changes, the web report is the best place to see them, and then matching up the numbers in the web report. JFO staff will be here until you are done. So if you have questions or you come across a thing that doesn't make sense, we'll be here. One thing I will point out that will be different between the bill and this, but we were going to update this, because I got an email from a representative whose last name starts with N and ends in IGRO.
It's just a person sitting.
I don't want to call anyone out. What did that representative say?
Sent an email and pointed out that the VSAC Advanced Vermont grants should actually be at the Department of Labor.
Ah, yes. Good catch,
Grady.
Representative Nigro.
Sent to me. I didn't catch it personally, but I'll take
Take
it.
credit. You'll take credit.
So Grady is adding a B1100 subpart Z, subpart 1, which will be appropriation to the Department of Labor for $200,000 for Advanced Vermont, and the bill will not contain the V2 for VSAC. We also need to update the web report you will get will not have that in the correct place. So we will update that. And the final version that will go on the website will have it, but that was so far, that's the only change we need. That's the only thing that will be different from what you're gonna get. Everything else hopefully should match. And then I expect that you guys will hopefully find things
The web report will go on the web tomorrow?
tonight.
It will go on tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Post, everything is fine. Once you vote, everything will go as final. The bill itself will go in the calendar. I think.
It has its own special addendum, I think. Tom?
Yeah, just a proofreading thing, line 48, please. Can you make that mileage-based user fee, both in the description and in your notes?
Wait, it's PAGE spelled wrong. Mileage.
Oh, yeah, there's an E in there. I would never remember that. Yeah, we can do that too.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to put something in statute defining what that is.
Oh, right, millage.
Yes, we can fix that right now.
Okay, so in a minute, we will go off live. I assume we haven't heard from Bryn in the last 35 seconds. Okay. We'll call you back when Bryn is available. But we'll go off live. We will hear the joint fiscal committee changes that Jim worked out with other folks that were substituting what we looked at on Friday. Then we will look at the web report and the language, and then we'll come back and vote on the whole package. And sort of depends on when we get the rest of it, how long. I'd like to give you at least an hour, maybe an hour and a quarter or so. Except we will have to have a little break in that period of time to go over this joint fiscal language. So